So this would be your future, buried in a mass grave, usually not even identified like a true Christian burial would want to be, because it was just so many mass numbers of death all in one short period of time, and Europe just couldn't keep up with it. Um, you watched the video yesterday, and we'll watch it again, and you'll compile some answers for Black Death. It's kind of catchy little tune, stay in your mind to remember some of the details. It's a song from quite a whiles back, but Gwen Stefani, she's a judge sometimes on The Voice, is the original singer of the song, but it's using some historical data to keep us remembering all the key ideas. So you can watch that, and then we'll come back to do the questions. So following along here, Yersinia pestis was the name of the bacteria. Again, the Mongols were the ones that were using the Black Death victims as biological warfare. It's kind of a modern term, but really just means you're using natural things to create havoc and despair in war. The plague traveled 5 kilometers per day for 5 years. That's just a really startling statistic that it was traveling that fast. And just affecting that many people. Some people, again, wanted to blame something. Religion and people sinning seemed to be an easy scapegoat. So flatulence would literally whip themselves in public, doing something they thought to repent for their sins. That must be some of the reason why all of this death and destruction was coming. And the population decreased by 2/3. So who do you think was the most affected within the matters when Black Death reached upwards into Europe? We kind of discussed this before, but think about our feudal hierarchy and record your response. So we had serfs and peasants living in close conditions, and the lords lost their power because of that, because we were dismantling that feudal hierarchy by giving more and more money to the serfs and peasants, and just many of them choosing to either leave or, not by choice, just dying. Final conclusion question. How did the Black Death lead to economic growth in the Middle Ages? So it actually helped serfs and peasants, again, get out of that feudal system. Peasants were then being paid by the lords or moved to cities, and then the manors eventually fell apart, which led to industries and factories developing more and more. So in this destruction, now we see a new form of economic system coming. Now, many ask, do we have plagues or in modern times? We haven't in a very long time, especially since the modernization of medication and vaccinations. Influenza obviously is something like right now we've seen an outbreak of it within our school. It's not even at what we call an epidemic level, which is below a plague. There's times, in recent history where a school or a building is shut down to clean and make sure that we can keep people healthy and not exposing each other to different kinds of viruses like this. But it's definitely something we built immunities to. And eventually that's what happened in Europe. They just eventually became not as susceptible to getting sick from it. So over time, our body builds up immunities. Just like when you're a baby, we're really worried about you getting sick. And that's why, you have to stay home and go to the hospital for, fevers and things more often. And then again, that kind of happens when you're elderly because again, your immune system is compromised. But as our immunity system gets stronger and stronger from being exposed to things, we're not as susceptible to these kind of conditions. Hope you understand the Black Death. You'll be completing your map next. You want to use the information from the map as well as you can look through your notes on 512 that we just did here to help and assist you with that. Have a good day.